We're going to get started. Thanks for those of you that are sticking around for the second one. For those who are just coming to this second session, welcome here. Today we have Dr. Dean Kriellaars here. He's Scientific Director at the Center for Circus Arts Research, Innovation and Knowledge Transfer at Elite Circus Training School in Montreal. He works with all professional circuses in Quebec, as well as elite athletes and sport organizations in many countries. He's a faculty member of the College of Rehabilitation at the University of Manitoba. And today, Dean's going to be speaking on fatigue science, what athletes need to know about rest, recovery, and performance. Dean, there you go.
I'm not going to bore you. I'm going to give you as many facts as I can you can take home and use tomorrow. My job for almost all my entire life has been enhancing performance in athletes at the Olympic level. Now I work in the circus industry. We have 1,400 performers at Cirque du Soleil. I'm the head of that for all of them. We have got a large number of people that we train. I came from Biathlon Canada. I was director, chairman of the board. I see some skiers at the back there. And so I came from high performance sport and moved into the circus world. My job is always the same, helping you guys know what to do and what not to do. So I'm going to be straight and to the point with you as much as I can. So I'm a prof at the University of Manitoba in rehabilitation, physical therapy. But those are the two places I primarily work. The most elite training school in the world for circus is in Montreal. It has no relationship to Cirque du Soleil. It's across the street. We accept 25 people a year from 6,000 applications. There's people who can juggle 8 balls and they don't get accepted because that's easy. It is ultra elite. We train 40 hours a week for 3 years. 99% become professional circus artists. That's a pretty high success rate. Why? We have 165 students total, 110 coaches. It's a pretty good ratio. Lots of care. I'm going to share with you the secrets that we have, and they're not really secrets, they're common sense, but you need to hear it from somebody like me to take it seriously. So this is where I work. I live in Montreal 1 week of every month. I live in Sweden 6 weeks of every year. And that's my Circus World. The circus school is right over there in the bottom right. Cirque du Soleil right across the street, 50 meters away. Some of us go back and forth. We've got a residence there for people and a theater that we can perform circus in. Pretty neat. And this is the place at night. It's a very large campus. And this is a video of why I take fatigue science so critical. I'll play this video in a second. This was a show that was just here. It's called Allegria. And I want you to just watch these folks here do a little movement. Oops. Won't do that one, but I'll do this one. So this is one of our athletes, performers, they like to be called. And he's balancing on one hand, and he's got pretty good core stability. We have level 0 to level 14 core. I design all the core training programs. Level 0 to 14, he's level 8. Everybody has a minimum of 8. He does this sort of thing for a living, but he's a former gymnast turned circus performer. And his coordination, his focus, his ability to do these things is highly dependent upon fatigue and sleep. Here's another one of our performers walking on a tight wire. Normally he does this at about 55 feet off the deck. And you can imagine that accuracy, power, reaction time, mood, all of those things influence the people I work with. And if they're off just a little bit, it can be fatal. They can die. So, and worse yet, These guys do 357 shows a year. All of them must be gold medal. Otherwise, you're fired. It's not a discussion. That defies logic for most people in sport. 300, that's almost a show a day. Gold medal every day. How do we do that? I'm going to share that with you. It is not rocket science. We try to do everything we can to make them be ready every single day. And I'm just going to share that. There's nothing magical about it. This young gentleman right here is from China. And I've asked him to show me harder and harder things. So he started easy. Now he's going more complicated. But his accuracy and reaction time is everything in his game. His balance, your balance is a little bit off. Oh, that's problems. Show doesn't go on. He's going to do a little unicycling here on a wire that's about the width of your thumb. And normally he's 55 feet off the deck. No safety, by the way. So for us, sleep and fatigue are really, really critical. I don't want to show you too much. It's all fun to watch and circus shenanigans. But the key thing is they're really no different than athletes. They're performers, mind you, but similar idea. I'm not going to show you these guys until the end. I'll show you another video. So I work with coaches of all types, and when I ask coaches, what do coaches want? And in most sports, that's the top 9. Just read. You can read. Those are the top 9 items of what coaches want in athletes. In most sports, not all. But those make sense, right? Those make sense. I want to be fast. I got to speed up quickly. I got to have good cardiovascular fitness, blah, blah, blah. Lots of power. Those are common things. And you know what's even more interesting? If I ask all the coaches in the world, what are the most important psychological characteristics? Watch this one. Intrinsically motivated. You want to do it because you want to do it. You're confident. Yeah, I'm good at this. Yeah, I'm getting better at this. I'm focused. How many times you've heard coaches say, focus? If you don't focus, you lose attention, you make mistakes. Not good. Able to manage your emotions. Doesn't mean you don't have emotions, that's bad. But if you can manage your emotions, you do a lot better at things. In hockey, people who can't manage their emotions do bad penalties. Bad penalties lose games. Goal setter. You've got goals to set. That's important. What are your goals? How about this? Punctual. Arrive on time. Pretty important. You can see people around you, be aware of things. You're committed. The athlete believes that they're in charge. I'll tell you a little secret, athletes. When I work at the Circus Center, if you say to me that your performance is not improving because of somebody else, I get anxious. You're the first and most important person in performance. You should need to take responsibility for that as much as you can. Because if you blame others, it's a really bad sign. Sometimes it's true, but blaming other people is a sign that things aren't going to go well into the future. We actually, at Circus, we don't accept anybody who speaks like that. They're gone because of your attitude. We need perfect attitudes. They see failure as part of success. I failed a lot in my life, so I'm really good. But I don't see failure to be avoided. I go, okay, I failed today. What can I learn from that, and how can I do something different? I'll cover the last one. So today we're going to talk about things you can do as an athlete to modify to get better. And we're going to talk about sleep and fatigue. Sleep is a really important thing, and way more important than you've ever thought. And in my industry, it is vital. We travel a lot. We need to manage our sleep, and I'm going to convince you, hopefully, of that. So, sleep is modifiable. That means that you can change it. You're the one in charge. You're not in prison. You live in a house. You can choose to do things, and I'm going to help you choose. So the first thing, and I'm going to cover all these in detail. One is, how long do you sleep? Now, how long do you sleep? Just put in your head. When did you go to bed last night? And when did you wake up this morning? What's the difference? That's how long you slept. We'll talk about that. How long did you sleep? But you know what? How long you sleep isn't the most important thing. It is vital to sleep longer, not too long, not too short. And I'll explain the exact number later. But it's also how well you sleep. So if you put your head on a pillow, most people take between 3 and 25 minutes to fall asleep. A really good number is 7 or less. It's not perfect 7, but if you take too long to sleep, like you're going like this in bed, that's called sleep latency. Not good. You need to take the amount of time it takes to get to sleep after you put your head on the pillow and make it under 10 minutes. That's the goal. Are you restless? Are you moving around all night? That's not good either, because it's not how long you sleep, it's how well you sleep. Are you waking up in the morning feeling refreshed? I'm going to tell you right now, it is vitally important that when you wake up, you go, I'm ready to go. You're not going like that, snooze, 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 snooze. You know you're getting good sleep when you wake up every morning going, I'm ready to go. You know how many people actually feel that way in Canada, the United States? 80% of university people, I'll use university students, 80% do not achieve that. 80%. Because of the world we live in has made it difficult to sleep in. And I'm going to explain that to you. Should I not? I'll tell you about that. And if you travel, what should you do? And if you're sleepy during the day, you definitely need to fix it. If you go to a place and sit down on a bench and it's quiet and you find yourself in the middle of the day, I guess, and oh, what? That's daytime sleepiness. If you have daytime sleepiness, you must fix your sleep. It is a sign that you're not getting enough sleep, daytime sleepiness. Make sense? Okay, so let's go into the details here of how to do it and what does it mean. So this is January 3rd. On January 3rd, this is me. I have a device on my wrist right here. It's about a $1,000 device. It measures my heart rate every single beat. I've worn this thing for 2.5 years straight. Every night of sleep, I know how my heart is beating. I know it measures how much I move. It even measures this, and this is a really important one, guys, gals. You measure your heart, and it's beating, boom, 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 boom. What scientists have figured out is if your heart beats like a metronome perfectly, like that, you're stressed out. If you're not stressed, your heart beats kind of varies around a little bit. So how variable your heart rate is a sign of how stressed you are. Going to bed stressed is a really good way of not sleeping well. So I teach people how to wash away stress before they go to bed. How do you do that? I'll tell you a couple tricks. But this is me on January 3rd. I want you to see what happened. I went to bed 10:30 at night, right here, the very beginning of the graph. I went into light sleep. That's the first blue bar. See the first blue bar over there? I went to light sleep. It took me a very short time to get to sleep. And this is a really important one. See this guy right here? Right after I went to bed, there's a dark blue bar here. That was me going to deep sleep. The deep sleep part of night, you know what that's like? Your face is on the pillow, you're not moving at all. And if the pillow had some sort of indentation on it, and you woke up, there'll be an indent on your face. That's deep sleep. Then what you see right here in purple, that's me when my eyes are going like this, like the devil. It's called rapid eye movement. And when your eyes move back and forth in your head, that's when you're dreaming. How many times did I dream through the night? 1, 2, 3, 4 times for 2 hours and 25 minutes of rapid eye movement sleep. Everybody needs rapid eye movement sleep. If you have a dog at home and it falls asleep and you sometimes see it running, that's a dog in REM sleep. Everybody good with this? So everybody needs to have a sleep pattern where you have deep sleep, REM sleep, and light sleep. If you sleep for 8 hours and your entire night is light sleep, you wake up feeling bad. You need to get deep sleep and REM sleep. And I'm going to help you. That sounds good. Now you should be saying, well, how do I do that? And I'll talk you through that. So that's me on January 3rd. I got 7 hours 44. That's pretty good for my age. The next graph I'm going to show you is how much I moved at night. Okay, same night. Ready? Here we go. Boom. So here's all the sleep phases. And here's how much I moved. I got up here for a moment because my dogs started moving. I said, what's going on? I have 3 dogs. That's not a good thing to sleep with dogs. I have 3 dogs. So they can wake me up a lot. This night they didn't, but I did move once. But the rest of the night, not a lot of movement. I'm just jiggling around a bit. If you had a lot of leg movement through the night, that's not good either. That's cool. Now watch this. I also measure my stress, how my heart beats, not how fast it beats, whether it's regular or not. So that day, my stress level was 26 out of 100, and I had 8 hours and 49 minutes of low stress in my entire day. That's really good. I'm going to show you this in a graph. Same day, same night. Here's when I went to bed at the start of the graph, and throughout the entire night, pretty much, my stress was low, blue. I woke up, and I had more and more stress through the day. I have a very stressful job. I can't avoid my stressful job. If you're training hard as an athlete, it's stressful. So to deal with all the stress you have, school, training, all that stuff, you need to have low stress sleep. My sleep this night was all blue. 2 years ago, I used to volunteer a lot. Tons of volunteering. And all the volunteers kept on asking me to do more and more and more and more. And every night I was sleeping as a volunteer, I had no blue. It was all orange. Because I was always thinking about my work and my volunteer job. I quit my volunteer job and my sleep went through the roof. I'm not saying don't volunteer. But it's not just how long you sleep, guys. It's how well you sleep. Low stress during the night is a really important thing to get. And I'll help you. I'm just telling you about sleep. Now we're going to go, what does sleep look like? So one of my graduate students, Adam Decker, he wrote a paper in September of 2019. That's not long ago, in medical problems of performing artists. That's where I work now. Circus is performing arts. And this is my good friend, Patrice Aubertin, that's me in the back there. And we studied sleep of circus artists. Because if they don't sleep well, things happen. If they don't sleep well, performance goes off. If they don't sleep well, they get more injuries. I'll show you that. And so we did a paper, we studied their sleep. I don't want to show you that, but I will show you this. This is a very fancy table here. But I'm going to show you something. Wakefulness. During the day, if you're awake, like you're awake, yeah, I'm wakeful. That's wakefulness. Pretty straightforward. Wakefulness is related to fatigue. The more fatigued you are, the less wakeful you are. But what I need you to see here is that sleep quality, right here, number 2, see these numbers here, 72, 60, are very, very important in determining fatigue and wakefulness. It's not just how long you sleep, it's how well you sleep. So I'm going to help you today learn about both of those. So first thing you need to know, convincing. If you sleep less than 7.5 hours of the night, at your age, there's a much higher injury rate in athletes. 7.5 hours a night. If you like injuries, please sleep less than 7.5 hours. Now, what's odd is that if you sleep longer than 10 hours a night, we also find that you're going to have a higher rate of injuries. So what does this help? Sleep between 7.5 and 10 hours. Nothing complicated there. How do you do that? I'm going to explain. Because it's easy to say, sleep for more than 8 hours. But how do you do that? I'll explain. Everybody good? This is not even a discussion. It is very clear. Hundreds of different sports, this has been shown. That's a pretty good reason to do it. There is also very clear data that if you sleep poorly, quality is bad, or if you sleep short, there's very clear evidence that you decrease focus. That's something that every coach wants. Focus, paying attention, listening to detail. Can't learn tactics. The next one is motivation. Pretty important, right? Get up and work out. Get up and learn. Get up and do things. That's motivation. There's very clear evidence that if you sleep too short, your motivation decreases. Okay. Reduce concentration. Well, that's not good either. Not good on the playing field. Really bad in school. And I'm going to show you some data that shows you that athletes who don't sleep under 8 or 7.5 hours get B's and C's instead of A's and B's. It's that strong of a thing. So I've just convinced you that if you sleep between 7.5 and 10 hours, you get less injuries. 2, if you don't sleep a lot, you lose focus, motivation, and concentration. Pretty important in sport. They're the top 10 of what our coaches want. Here's some really good news. Here's the first thing you can do differently. There's a new thing that we do in sleep science called sleep banking. Banking sleep. Putting it in the bank. You know how you do it? It's called sleep extension. You add an hour a night. So let's just say you got a big competition on Friday. That means on Tuesday, I put my head on the pillow 1 hour earlier. That's tough. But you know what I do? I'm going to bed 1 hour earlier. Your parents go, what? Like, what? I'm going to bed 1 hour earlier. Why? Because if you go to bed an hour earlier, put your head on the pillow, almost guaranteed you'll get 30 or 40 more minutes of sleep. Everybody good with that? 3 or 4 nights before a major competition. Bank some sleep. And if you do that, and this is no discussion, this is for swimmers, basketball players, military people who shoot, biathletes. If you add an hour a night for 3 or 4 nights, you improve accuracy by 10%. 10%. Okay, what is that? If you played hockey, there's 42 shots on net, maybe as little as 25 shots on net in a game. If it was 42 shots on net and your accuracy improved by 10%, you might get more goals. You follow me on that? You might shoot more free throws if you're a basketball player. 10% accuracy is not tiny. That's like going from 80% to 90% on an exam. Are you in? I'm in. Now here's even worse. If you have deprived sleep under 7.5 hours, you lose 10% accuracy. That's 20% difference. Don't give that up. So if you add an hour a night or more, you get 10% better accuracy, 10% better reaction time. You're faster reacting to things, that's good. And you have better power output an hour later. So if you're a triathlete and you're on a bike in a time trial for an hour, it doesn't help you in the first 15 minutes. It helps you in the last 15 minutes by up to 25%. Those are pretty good reasons, I would say. But it's really hard to fix sleep unless you try. And I've already told you, the first thing I told you, one, if you really need to get better sleep, you need to go to bed earlier. It's really that simple. That's one of the most important things to do, get to bed earlier. I know this is calling you. I have one too. I panic if I don't have this thing. My life is over if I don't have my iPhone. I will die without my iPhone, just like you. But why I'm saying that to you is that I am good at putting it aside and getting to bed when I need to. I learned how to do that. And if I have a big competition or a big event coming up, I get to sleep about 30 minutes to an hour earlier before I go. So here's some reasons, just some reasons behind it. Next one. So here's some key points. Training and competition schedules that reduce time in bed contribute to young athletes not attaining the recommended 7 to 10 hours of sleep a night. For you guys, the target is, I'm going to give you a number. There's no magic number, 8 or 9. If you can get 8 or more hours, I'd be minimally happy. If you got 9 hours of sleep, I'd be really happy. Make sense? Those would be the numbers I'd shoot for, if you can. Everybody's a little bit different, so there's no perfect number. But when you get under 7.5, bad things happen. Over 10, not so good either. So I shoot for 8 or 9. If you're waking up feeling energetic like a bunny, you're probably okay. If you're not, then you need to fix it. Next one. Second point. If you sleep less than 8 hours a night, you increase the risk of getting musculoskeletal injuries. I told you that. So 8 is kind of our minimum. An increase in sleep duration above the 8 hours, remember what did I say? Add an hour a night. If you do that, you enhance performance, focus, motivation, reaction time, accuracy, power. Everybody good? So all I've said to you so far is add an hour a night. This whole shenanigan boils down to adding an hour a night. We'll get some more detail. So you're not going to read these, so I'm going to use these to remind you of something. The effects of total sleep deprivation on endurance cycling performance. We got some triathletes in the back there. And you know what's interesting? They hop on bikes and they ride for a pretty long time. And it is very clear from this study, it is very clear that sleep impacts cycling performance. They did a time trial. These are the numbers I'm pointing to. I'm just reading them for myself. When they were sleep deprived, it took them 64 minutes to do the time trial. When they weren't sleep deprived, it was 59. Is 5 minutes a big deal in triathlon? Yeah. I'd say 5 minutes in a time trial on a bike is a really big deal. Not just a tiny deal. There's an example for cycling performance. This came out in December 2019. Training schedule and sleep adjustment in adolescent swimmers. Any swimmers in here? Anybody, triathletes, you get up early to go to the Pan Am? Early, right? It is very clear, this study tells us very clearly, early morning swimmers or rowers, If you've got an early morning training session, you had better go to bed way earlier the night before. Every single time you have an early morning training session, go to bed exactly the amount to get the extra sleep. That's hard to do because you're so used to going to bed at one time. For adolescent swimmers, the performance differences were mammoth if you didn't do that adjustment. These are just some ideas to make it real for you. This paper is a big one showing that recovery, your ability to regenerate and train harder, is completely dependent upon sleep hygiene. What is sleep hygiene? It doesn't mean how clean you are when you sleep. It's about how long you sleep and how well you sleep. If you sleep long and well, your recovery, your ability of your muscles to recover from the training dramatically improves. Recovery, that's a big deal. So I'm going to stop for a second and give you some really, I'm supposed to have a blank slide here. I'm going to give you some really important tips. What did I say? Add an hour a night. Yay. Try to get to 9 hours. Yay. Everybody good? Here's some other tips. There is very little evidence that this is a really bad thing. Driving using this, not easy to get an accident. I'm going to tell you a couple things about this in sleep. If you use this phone, it is important to understand the following. You can have this phone in your room when you sleep. However, you should put do not disturb on. Why? Every time Instagram, Twitter updates, it goes ding, 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 or vibrates, right? Zzz, zzz, zzz. When I put this beside my bed on the charger, I can hear it go zzz, zzz, zzz. Now, your ears don't turn off while you sleep. Your eyes don't turn off while you sleep. And if you close your eyes right now, and I'm going to ask you to do it, don't do it yet. If you close your eyes, I want you to look around the room and see if you can see where it's dark and light through your shut eyes. Okay, ready? Go for it. Shut your eyes. Look down, look up at the lights. You should be able to see through your eyelids. Am I right? I'm right, right? Watch this, guys. If this thing comes on at night and has a bright white light, your eyes see that even though you stay asleep. If you have a TV on or a computer on and the screen goes white, your eyes see that even though you're asleep. So what do we want? We want to make sure this is upside down and doesn't show white light. We don't have a TV in the room, even though it's off in terms of sound, because it's going bright and dark. That's not good. Your eyes still see that, and it keeps you light in sleep. Remember, it's not just about getting to sleep. You need to go to deep sleep and dream. If you have this thing going bzz, 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 ding, 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 changing its light, you stay in light sleep. Everybody good with that? I don't hate these things. I'm saying put them into do not disturb mode while you sleep. Make sense? The world will still be there in the morning. Everybody good? The next one. If you sleep in a room, you should have the lights completely dark. You got me on that? It should be a very dark room. It doesn't have to be completely dark, but the darker typically the better as long as it doesn't scare you. Okay? Dark room. Third, if the room is in places where there's sounds coming from the outside, car driving by. Beep, 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 something backing up. If your room has a lot of noise coming from the outside, your ears still work. So what do? You have two options. If that disturbs you and wakes you up at night, you can either put earplugs in. If you have a brother or sister who snores, put the earplugs in. Dad snores really loud, tell him to sleep somewhere else. Please don't snore. It wakes people up. But you either can put earplugs in, or even more importantly, what most people do, you find a fan. And you put a fan in a room that goes like this. Ready? Your brain is okay listening to the same sound over and over again. Your brain is not okay listening to sounds that come from nowhere. Because your brain goes like this. What? Who's that? What's going on? Everybody good? Some people need a fan. Some people need earplugs. Some people need to move the sounds away. Okay, everybody good with that? That's another important trick. Third thing, do not drink caffeine before you go to sleep. Do not have a cup of tea that has caffeine within 2 or 3 hours of going to sleep. There is only one exception to that rule. If you drink 30 cups of coffee a day or more, you need to drink coffee to go to sleep. But if you're less than 30 cups of coffee a day, which I'm pretty sure all of you are, do not take caffeinated tea or coffee or Coke or Diet Coke 2 or 3 hours before going to bed. It's really a bad idea. Parents in the audience and children later on, you need to learn this now, and I'll tell you this. If you drink 3 beer, 2 glasses of wine, you will go to sleep faster. There's very clear evidence that alcohol is a somnolent. That means it helps you go to sleep. But there's very clear evidence that if you go to sleep faster with alcohol, the second half of the night is really bad sleep. It puts you to sleep faster, but then you have bad sleep. Everybody good with that? Because it's really easy, if you're not sleeping well, to find something like alcohol to put you to sleep. Be very, very careful about that. You should avoid it 100% if you're an elite athlete. Everybody good with that information so far? Okay. No violent video games. Prior to that, if you use violent video games, your mind is working out all the problems of the violence. It actually makes you stay in light sleep for a much longer period of time. A simple, fun game, not so bad. You're doing, I just missed the name. Fortnite was popular for a bit. If you did Fortnite, I'm good with that. What's the next one you need to know? You should have the room at a temperature that is slightly cool. I'm going to tell you, if you have really good sleep at night, you know what should happen? You go under the covers, put your head on the pillow, and then over the night, you know what happens if you sleep good? Your body temperature drops. Your heart rate drops all night long. So you should wake up feeling quite cool. If you had a really good sleep, you wake up and whoop, let me get my robe on. That's good sleep, because your body actually controls your body temperature and controls your heart rate while you sleep. And if you have good sleep, remember I wear this watch? My lowest heart rates are while I sleep. Not at the beginning of the night, but by the end of the night, my heart rate is very slow. Very. That's what you want. If your heart rate's high throughout the night, you're stressed out. Everybody good? I'll give you one other thing you can do. There is a study that clearly shows not everybody needs to do this, but for some people, you can do 2 things to help you sleep. Take a really warm shower 30 minutes before going to bed. A hot shower can help. Another thing you can do, another study did this one. They had the person take their hands, see this? Turn on your sink in your bathroom. Turn it on to a temperature that's quite warm, not hot, really warm. Let it run for a bit. Get some soap that's smelly and nice. You like the smell of it. Maybe a squirt soap, maybe a nice blue bar or something. Put your hand and put lots of soap on your hands and put it under the warm water. And most people, when they do this, see what I'm doing? I'm washing my hands quite vigorously. They go like that under hot water, your body goes like this. Oh. That's calming. So whether you wash your hands in warm water for about 60 seconds, that's a long time. That's medical grade hand washing. You do that, or you take a warm shower. If you're having trouble sleeping, that is a really good technique to try. Does it work for everybody? No. Does it work for many people? Yes. Everybody good with that? Okay, next one. Here's something to avoid. If you read things at night, I like to read before going to bed. If you use this, and I turn this on, it's in dark mode right now. My phone is. So it's white letters on a dark background. But during the day, or if you don't have a phone like this, it'll be a bright white screen, won't it? And you'll be reading a web page or something as you're reading at night. One of the worst things on the face of the planet to do to try to go to sleep is have a bright white light in your face. It's one of the worst things to do. So if you're a reader and you have a book and you're laying in bed like this, with your pillows propped up, you've got a night light right here on a book, and the pages are white pages with a bright light, it's like you're putting the sun in your face. And you're telling your body, it's time to wake up. Be careful. Reading can be good, but that bright, it's too bright a light, your body is triggered to light. Our body's rhythms are based on light. So it's really important for you guys not to have really bright lights before you go to sleep. Try to keep that down to a minimum. So I have a client right now, patient, because I do sleep treatments with people. And one of the biggest things they did, they love reading. They read 90 minutes before they went to bed. That's good. But then I asked, how do they do it? They're in bed with a really bright light on a book. It's like having the sun beside them. All we did was we changed the podcasts. Her life, she added 2.5 hours a night of sleep. It's like, I don't have to take medications anymore. It was podcasts that did it. It wasn't. I'll tell you this, one other thing. You like to listen to music to go to sleep? Absolutely. As long as it turns off after 45 minutes. You like to listen to music to go to sleep? Do that. But make sure it turns off in 45 minutes. It has a sleep timer. Are these things useful? Making sense to you? Yeah? These are real things. Now, all of these things you don't need to do. You have to find a thing that works for you. When I work with people, some people don't sleep long enough. So what do? Add an hour a night. Some people can't get to sleep fast. Wash your hands. Have a good bedtime routine. Do the same bedtime routine every night. Watch this. Remember I said wash your hands for 60 seconds? A very famous adventure racer from this province, who you'll see on TV in March and April, in a big way. Is he here tonight? He actually has one of them has a really difficult time sleeping. I'm going to say the whole treatment session was based on these words. You ready? Here we go. All you need to do, all those troubles you have in your mind, all you need to do is park them before you go to bed. And they'll still be there in the morning. Park them. Because you know what? When you sleep, your mind tries to fix problems. If you go into deep sleep and REM sleep, your mind tries to fix problems. So all I said to this person was, you need to park your troubles, or you need to wash them away for the night. You follow what I'm doing here? I had a famous Russian guy. He was actually in the video. There's this really big Russian dude in the circus. He throws people around. That's his job. And you know what? He comes up to me and he says, Dean, I can't do Russian accent. He goes, Dean, I don't believe in this psychology. It's bull. I don't like it. You know what I do? Every night when I have troubles, I have a hot bath. And then I pull the plug out, and when the water goes out, I imagine all my troubles going away. I said, that's good psychology. And I couldn't say that to him. But things like that are important to get your mind off of something so you can go to sleep. Some of us are anxious people. I'm a pretty high-strung person. So I need to, when I go to sleep, I have to clear my mind. You know how I do it? I'm a really good Scrabble player. I play Scrabble, 2 or 3 games. And then I put the light away, put my head on the pillow, and I think about my favorite physical activities. Then I go to sleep quickly. If I go to bed with work on my mind, I toss and turn all night long. I think and think and think. I can't get to sleep. Everybody good with this information? Yeah? Okay, let's keep going. Here's a good one. Sleep problems are associated with academic performance in a national sample of collegiate athletes. I'm going to read this to you in an easy way to understand. Sleep predicts whether you are getting B's or C's or D's or F's. How do you like that? As a parent, it's like, I told you, right? It's doing a whole letter grade. It's a whole letter grade. That's a pretty serious estimation. Athletes have, I'm going to tell you another secret here. Parents, in university athletes, it's university life that messes up sleep. It's not being an athlete. University life, 80% of students in universities have disordered sleep. 80% have disordered sleep. Not sleep disorder, disordered sleep, 80%. They could benefit from what I'm telling you. But it's really hard to do the things I'm saying to you when you're at university. So you have to really think about sleep in a very, very serious way because it affects everything. Your mood, your concentration, your focus, everything. Even academic performance is related to it. This is hopefully powerful. So what I want you to do now, this will be a little bit of an interaction because we're not interacting with each other, listening to me. This group of people here, they're going to turn around and talk to these people. That group, you're going to talk to those people around you. Make a group. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to talk to each other for 3 minutes in a small group, maybe not more than 6 or 8, 6 people. And you're going to tell me, you're going to, as a group, say, what is the most important thing you can change in your sleep tomorrow as a group? Okay? 2 minutes. Ready? Go. Quick, quick, quick. Figure out like that. Quick. Figure out like that. When I say 3, you're going to point to the person in your group who's your spokesperson. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go quick. Spokesperson. We're going to talk for 30 seconds. Saying, what was the most important thing to do? Okay? If the person stands up, we can say something. I'm going to go around. Okay? guys ready? 30 seconds. Ready? Go, go, go. Volunteer in a short seminar like this. He asked me a really important question. He said, hey, if I'm not feeling tired, should I go to bed? And the answer is no. You should get up and do something. And then come back to bed, go through your routine, and go back. Some people will actually try to read in bed, meditate for 90 minutes, and they're resting already. And then they'll try to sleep. That's too much on that. You want your routine to be like 15 minutes to get it right. Call it do your thing. Whatever you do. Jams on, brush your teeth, wash your hands, turn one light out, whatever. Just the picture to you, whatever you do. Following that? Okay. So where are you coming? This group? What was the number one? Spokesperson, what was the number one for your group? It was banking sleep. Banking sleep. Add an hour a night before really important things. That's a cool idea. This group over here, who's a spokesperson, which I do. Add an hour and good. I love how you summarize that. Get rid of distractions in the bedroom and add an hour, kind of like banking sleep. Extend sleep, bank sleep, add an hour. These are really good things. Go over here. Anything for this group? Put down the phone upside down and put it into do not disturb while you're sleeping. But don't get rid of the phone. But do that if you can. It's real stuff. If you want to find out who broke up. Over here. Over here. And this one, guys. Good. So develop a bedtime routine, really good idea, or improve your routine. Add something to the list. Remembering that each person doesn't need the same thing. Everybody's got an individual routine. But if you're not sleeping well, keep on changing it up. Over here.
Ours was to stop thinking about your worries.
Love it. From your age, that's an amazing thing. I love it. Let your worries go away. There's a song from the old days. How's it going? The old worry song. Over here. Was there anything? Anybody else?
Don't play violent video games.
I didn't say don't.
Yeah.
I play violent video, but I don't play the regular bed. Like ultra violent Scrabble. Any other comments? Okay. Everybody got something from this? How many more minutes? I'm over? 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Okay. Do a couple more things. Last slide. Some sleep rules, just to remind you. TV or music is okay, but not all night. Use a sleep timer. Now, parents are going to hate me for this. If you do have a TV in the room, some people can fall asleep to the TV, but make sure you turn the sleep timer on. 30 minutes later, that TV goes off, not violent TV. Okay? No cell phone noises, but do not disturb. The fan can help. Dark room, no coffee, alcohol, or exciting games. Get a bedtime routine, same each night. Those are some of the summaries. That's a reiteration of what I said. I hopefully remember all the positive things. Neil, I will give this presentation to you, and he can give it to all of you, the real PowerPoint, if you want. Is that useful to have it as a reminder? Yeah? Yes? That's good at the back. At least one person wants it.
Performance, yeah, just performance at sportmanitoba.ca.
Okay, perfect. Performance
That's
sportmanitoba.ca. Sounds like a good place to find it. Questions? I didn't talk about jet lag and I didn't talk about travel. I can. All right, go ahead. Anything you want.
My thing would just be like if you wake in the night falling back to sleep, especially if it's like before a big performance and now you fell asleep okay and now you're in the night and you're like, and you start stressing that now you're losing sleep and you can't fall asleep and you're doing games tomorrow or race or whatever. Like,
Really good question. So the data on pre-competition sleep is clear. That's what I'm saying. 4 days before you go, bank your sleep, because your night before always going to be messy. Yeah, I would say 4. The data now says 4 nights of banking sleep. Get to the competition night, you excuse yourself and say, hey, I know I'm going to have bad sleep. It's going to happen, but I'm going to try to sleep the best I can. When you wake up, you're not anxious. Everybody with that hand wash. Get up out of bed for a second, move around, hand wash, reset your body into a sleep state. Go through your bedtime routine, go back to sleep. Nothing. You do that. There is no science that says napping is better, and there's a difference between a nap and catch-up sleep. Catch-up sleep is 2 or 3 hours long. Saturday afternoon. Oh, sleep. That's a catch-up sleep. Naps are between 20 and 45 minutes. That's it. If you nap, my nap time is 27 minutes. I know it exactly. If I nap for 27 minutes, I wake up and go, whoa, whoa. If I nap for 45 minutes, I go into deep sleep, remember? And in deep sleep, you wake up and go, whoa, whoa, where am I? What day is it? If you sleep too long and get woken up, okay. If you're going to nap, set an alarm. Hey Siri, wake me up in 23 minutes. 30. And if you wake up, hey, feel a little bit better. That's good. That's a good nap. If you need 2 hours sleep, that's catch-up sleep. Completely different game. Everybody good with that? Any other questions?
Got a question from online. Does hormonal changes in teenagers affect how much sleep they need?
Very little. Hormones. I'm not going to go through all the neuroscience of sleep. There's a part in your brain, pineal gland, that releases melatonin. Melatonin is a naturally occurring substance in your body that helps people set their rhythms. And you can buy melatonin and take melatonin, and it can be moderately okay to help people go to sleep. I would never use melatonin until you've done all these things I told you about. So that is a hormonal effect. It is very clear to the person asking that question that it's society, the way we live, that influences adolescent sleep, not teenage puberty. Make sense? That'll be my answer. Hormonal, unless you have a sleep disorder, which can happen. That's any other questions? Yes.
Weight when you conceive it. How does that?
Yeah. So, yeah. In our world today, it's tough, right? But I'll say it to you clearly. When we travel, and I'll be in Sweden on Sunday, 22 hours of travel, 6-hour time zone shift. And the most important thing when I land in Sweden is to get out of the plane and have 20 minutes of bright sunlight on my face in their morning. Bright sunlight, or sometimes seasonal affective disorder like bright light you have in your house, can actually strongly affect your sleep cycles. So the people who travel like me a lot, I need to do every time I get in, if I don't have sunlight, I go to bright light on my face. So I do it, synchronize my clock. So your question was, if I stay up late till 2 in the morning on Saturday, it disrupts your sleep that night, unless you actually get a good sleep till 11, then I'm not so bad at it. But generally what happens is, go at 2, you wake up at the same time you did before, as your clock set that. Short cycle for sleep, and it takes days to recover. Just like binge drinking and partying, it messes up your sleep a lot. And then it takes up to 10 days to recover. If they went to bed at 2 and actually did wake up at 11, over. That doesn't disturb me that much. It's at least to my ears.
People like classes, any value to those if you're going to be working on a computer in the evening?
Yeah. So a lot of the computer screens now on the Mac and other machines will go from a blue light to like a tony orange light. And that is the stimulus that creates the clock syncing. So it's really hard to say even in this day and age, hey, shift to warm orange lights in your house. That's about, I'll say that. Some people sleep far better with light blocking. So I mean, they actually go to bed with, I guess, a mask on, a sleeping mask. That can be very valuable for people who are sensitive to small variations in light. Nobody succeeded at making that like 9 o'clock till 10:30, if that's the bedtime, let's say 10:30, the transition of changing lights in houses. That will come, because nobody's been able to do that really well. If you walk by my house, I live in Winnipeg, you'll see in my entire front room, I have all my lights in the house are completely controllable infinitely in all colors. So during the day, my lights are like that. And as the night progresses, they go to light orange. That's advanced science, but that's compared to all the other things we discussed today, it's a small one. I haven't used those yet, so I don't know how effective they are. I'm going to look right after we talk, and I'd love if you know of some already, I'll take a peek, whether it's hocus pocus or actually. And it works? You like it? Oh, I am. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. For sure, sunglasses block out certain spectrums of light. Okay, so there are glasses that can block out certain ranges of light, blue light in particular, and that's what happens on the computers nowadays. Anyway, the computers will shift to an orange tone and get rid of the blue one. So I agree that that is a good strategy, especially if you're a computer user right until the time you're going. That would be something I would definitely do for a whole bunch of reasons.
What about fluids before bed? I know when I was younger athletes, I would drink a lot of water during my practice, and I'd have trouble falling asleep.
Yeah, there is.
Or is there any ways to counter that?
Well, drinking too much before bed would get you to pee all night long, so that's not good. But my next few slides are on performance nutrition, so I could go there, but I'm not going to. But I would say I would avoid large consumption of fluids, maybe more than a glass, about an hour before bed, roughly. You know, certainly don't drink in a half liter.
When you talk about banking time, do you mean, can you bank time instead of like an hour before, do an hour later? Is that benefited?
Yeah, it's interesting one. And there's studies on that on shift work. There's a lot of shift work science on that. So especially for the athletes who have, like, there's a bunch of sports where you have some early morning sessions and then afternoon, early morning where they go from the season where they're training with MJHL. They're training for 1 and then they all over their competitions in the morning. And it's like, but you got to shift your cycle to account for that. When you have shifting every day, you have to bank either by adding an hour a night or so most of it works at night banking, but for some people you can bank the hour in the morning, and it's just as effective. So if you train at night, you sleep, so you have to sync your sleep cycle to your training cycle. That's tough to do. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much for attending.